So today now we'll do this test. This so far what we studied is 5 until 5th chapter. So just generate this awakened mind that I'm going to do this discussion activity for the sake of sentient beings in order to lead them to complete enlightenment. And with this intention, then we're going to follow this Dharma discussion activity, actions. Okay. So now that today we have less people that maybe skip that they scare for test. Anyway, but we'll just do this test anyway. So first, so the first question that any of you can give this answer, that why generating bodhicitta is always important. So give me a 4 reason. 4 reason. Anyone can give, whoever knows this 4 reason. Related with Bodhicharayavatara, okay? Just give related with this books. And there are many reasons that Shantideva talking about that why it is important to generate bodhicitta. In the first chapter, right? So give me a 4 reason.
One reason is enormous merit.
Sorry?
One reason is it generates enormous merit.
Okay, why? One reason is it what? It generates
enormous merit.
Enormous merit.
Yes.
Yeah. To have this confidence to practice oneself, that is enough information, right? And then now to make it this firm within oneself, and then also when you need to share with your friends, then you might need to have a reason why you are so firm that it generates enormous merit. Okay, one reason that Sean you gave me. Okay, now I'm asking you further. Why? How? Now, how it generates enormous merit?
because of the compassion intent behind it that generates it,
Because of
the compassion that's required to generate bodhicitta. That one puts others before oneself, or at least as equal as oneself.
at least as
That one puts others before oneself, or at the very least, the equal of oneself.
equal of oneself. Okay, anyone? Anyone wants to add tip on Sean's answer?
Do we want to be good people?
Do
we want to be good people?
Do we want to be good people? Does that make this?
I question the good in the life.
Good in the life. Good in the life?
In the experience of being alive.
That's why it is numerous. That's why it is generating innumerous merit.
Thank you.
Is that? Anyone wants to give further additional tip?
It constantly develops and grows unceasingly.
That's the reason, right? Yes, right. That's the one reason, Shandi, they were provided here. Yes, Sean, it is right. Yes, it is generous, enormous merit. And how then? It is in a Shantideva text, it says this one, right? Stanza 12. Right? Stanza 12. Yes?
Is this why we have to help the native people?
Everyone. Yeah. Everyone, yes, why not?
Stanza 6.
Stanza 6. Yeah. Stanza 6.
Yes. Generating bodhicitta, it helps break our habits.
That's the another reason you're giving, that why this generating bodhicitta is important. Top of the Sean's answer. Okay, I got two reasons. One is it is because of enormous merit, and another is
because it helps us break our habits, which are not virtuous.
okay. In stanza number 6, Annie, can you point it out the meaning of this stanza number 6?
That because our habitual thinking and habits and doing things is stronger, and it's generally because of our karma more stronger because of the habits of continually doing. By generating bodhicitta, we break those habits, and it's the only force, the only merit that can break evil patterns.
That's what this is stanza number 6. The point.
I think so. To me.
Yeah. Okay, so the two reasons. The why it is important, the innumerous, that this is stanza number 12, that what she gave that answer. That's the one reason shown, right? It produces innumerous, unseizable result, not like the others' merit. And also, I think I told you, top of that, another reason is also that the merit, it is innumerous one. It is because of that the sentient beings are countless. And then you are generating the mind to benefit the countless number of beings. Therefore, the number of the merit is also countless, numerous. That's the another reason too. That if I generate just to help Ani, then this my beneficial motivation is just one beneficial motivation, right? That this is virtuous activity, mental virtuous activity, right? So if I generate this same, that willing to benefit as how I want to benefit Ani, equal to the all of you, all of the beings, then this one mental action and equals number to the beings. That's the another reason that it becomes enormous generating merit. Simply that we can say when we're willing to have one person, that is virtuous thought, right? Positive thought, right? And similar like that way, if I generate to every being, then I'm accumulating by one action, generating the willing to benefit countless positive mental activity. That kind of method is in there, generating Bodhisattva. That's why it is also that another reason too. And then Ani gave a 2-second reason, which is this generating Bodhisattva is the powerful merit than the other ordinary merit. That's what Shandideva said too, right? Then now, two more. I need 4 reasons. Yeah?
Just the novel.
Actually, this time you shouldn't look book. Yeah. Actually, this time you have to close your book and then give answer. Right? The test is test. There's no place in this world when they take test letting you read something. Huh? Oh yeah? Okay. I see.
It is the only means to secure Buddhahood.
Malay, you're saying something? Yeah.
Yeah, but as the
Giving 3rd reason.
so the noble Jimmy Lingpa said that if you want to find the cow which is lost, you have to find the footsteps where the cow went.
Mm-hmm.
The noble Jimmy Lingpa said.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So relative bodhicitta is the path to get to absolute bodhicitta.
Mm-hmm.
And for absolute bodhicitta and relative, you secure your freedom, others' freedom, you please the Buddhas as well. And and you go beyond dualism. You go beyond all extremes.
Yes. So basically, you are trying to say that this mind can fulfill the both wishes, self and others. That's true. But you are giving answers from some other quotation. Here, Shantideva provided many reasons. You are not picking up any of his reasons. You are picking up somebody else's reasons.
No,
He says that too?
like,
Where?
you will be the child, you will, for like the supreme substance, your body will be transformed into like the supreme substance of the alchemist. So you will become the child of the Buddha. That's in the first chapter.
In the first chapter. Where is it? Huh? Stanza 9?
9, 10, and 11.
So that stanza number 10 maybe. 9 and 10? That's what you're giving, Malik, the answer?
9 and 10. And it also says it's having the bodhicitta is like having guards, like bodyguards. Even if you're in the worst place, it's like, and instantly when you rise to bodhicitta, that frees you. It's the one thought that can free you from all the evils, all the bad. It says, if you're burdened with heavy evil, if you rise to bodhicitta, that's the one thing that can free you. And then also it talks about the benefit of others.
So why the generating bodhicitta is important, because of that is the mind that could get rid of the many negative thought.
Many negativities, the heavy negativities.
Thought can remove by generating that. That's why this is important to generate.
And you, in the process, you free yourself.
And others as well by generating this awakened mind. That's why it is important. Okay, good. So 3 reasons. Okay, now seems like you give 2 reasons. Okay. Okay. If anyone have, then yeah, she.
Stanza 7, multitudes of joy. So
You're giving the Anna says like the open book test. Right? Open book test. Okay, so 7, stanza number 7.
it brings multitude of joy.
The joke Delani the Thobar says. It brings what?
A lot of joy. Or stanza number 8, who wish to have experience of myriad joy should never turn away from bodhicitta.
Okay. Anyway. And then okay, now next question, that what the manner should prepare to listen Dhamma teachings.
Should one have a good diet?
Good diet, and then just that good diet. Okay, so can you explain more? What does it mean, good diet?
One should have food that is sattvic in nature, that doesn't provoke and aggravate the mind, and doesn't put the mind at sleep.
Doesn't put mind at sleep. Thus the manner should be while listening Dhamma teaching.
Prior to preparation.
Manner should prepare to listen Dhamma teaching. And when you listen Dhamma teaching, how you should be yourself. Not the mental now, because talking about behavior, right? Manner. Manner.
Should be like a pot, a clean pot, so that, without any discursive thoughts and focused, because what you pour into that pot, if it's not clean, it will be contaminated. And if it's cracked, it won't hold the teachings. So your mind should have your good focus. And it shouldn't be upturned pot. You shouldn't have the attitude of an upturned pot where anything that's poured in to it can't enter it.
Yeah, so these are the example, right? You should have a right container, and means that container should not have a hole, and container should not put upside down. And what's the meaning of this? These are the example.
The meaning is you should approach teachings and the teacher with respect, and that you should be relaxed, but not too relaxed, and you should be attentive and focused, so that you hear and that you should remember.
So, okay, Ani, let me ask you one by one that the container upside down example, what is the meaning of?
That it doesn't matter what it's called, you try to.
No. That's example.
The example.
So that meaning.
You shouldn't have a hard mind. You shouldn't come with a hard mind that's not able to accept new information. And you should try and listen attentively to what.
Nawamite. Let me tell you this. Nawamite. Pay your ear to the sound of teaching. That's the example. This container upside down, and it doesn't matter how much water you put, it is not going to go in. Likewise, if you didn't pay your ear to the voice of teaching, then teaching is not going to get into your mind. Right? This is like, if you close this, and that's the how upside down container. That's why it is manner, right? How manner you should be in while listening Dhamma teaching. Because this is actually, I always reminding you at the beginning, generating, modifying intention, and then they prepare the manner to listen proper Dhamma teaching. Focus your ear to the Dhamma teaching. Listen carefully. That's the same meaning. Listen carefully in an excellent way, and then hold it. Hold it means hold it like that. If the container is whole, have a hole, then it cannot hold there inside.
Are you going to
Likewise.
pay someone? Are you going to pay someone?
Pay someone what?
Money.
Money? Where?
Here.
For what?
For no reason.
For no reason? Then I'm not. Anyway. Okay, then, so the manner. What manner you should be?
You should be free of afflicted emotions.
Yeah, don't contaminate or don't mix this afflictive emotions while you're listening to Dhamma teachings, right? If you mixed it, then it becomes like that you are mixing poison with your delicious food. pride, and jealous, and anger, hatred, whatsoever. While you listen Dharma teaching, if you generate those emotions, then those emotions are, you are kind of like adding poison to your delicious food. That you are having delicious food right now. This listening Dharma teaching is like having a delicious food at the moment. And then generating those jealous, pride, and then hatred, and all those afflictive emotions. And then if you generate it, that is kind of like you are adding poison to your delicious food. In that manner, you should modify it. And then you should not mix your afflictive emotions. And then
You should remember it.
Hmm?
The way you remember it.
remember it.
Yeah.
Yes, remember it or memorize the meaning and word. And even further, if you could, then even word too. That's always I'm saying at the beginning, right? This is the mental preparation is Bodhichitta, generating Bodhichitta. And then after that, the manner that while you're listening Dharma teaching is that giving focus your ear to the teaching, voice of teachings. And then try to not mix while you're listening this Dharma teaching any of those afflictive emotions. Try to make free of it. And then try to kind of like observe the meaning and then the words or the memorize. Try to memorize the meaning and words. That's what you should be. And this two thing is actually not only listening this Bodhicharayavatara, any kind of teaching, even empowerment. Any kind of teachings when you listen, or any kind of empowerment when you receive, that these two things, it is necessary there to prepare oneself. Then so how many chapters are there and how many subjects within these chapters?
10 chapters.
10 chapters with the how many subjects?
4 chapters.
Huh?
4 chapters.
Yeah, 10 chapters with the 4 subjects, right? And like we can say 4 main subjects, right? 10 chapters with the 4 subjects. And what are those? Yeah? What are those 4 chapters? The 4 subjects.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You also giving the open book test. Open book test. Okay, anyway, so first subject is
Chapter 1 to 3. Is it preconditions that can be after enlightenment, which is Bodhicharayavatara how to have it in oneself.
okay.
Chapter 4 to 6 is the second year.
Then how to
Loud, little loud.
Chapter 4 to 6 is the second year. Is how to maintain this Bodhisattva laws and what behavior should improve in order to not transgress the vows.
Mm-hmm.
Then chapter 7 to 9 how to increase it.
Developed, right? Further developed. Yeah, so these are the 4 main subjects about this 10 chapters, or about this Bodhicharayavatara.
Is Bodhisattva's way of life widely known?
Why?
Should
Why
it be?
what? Pardon?
Is Bodhisattva's way of life widely known?
Really no. What is really no? Huh?
Wide. A lot. Popular. Famous. Known.
Oh, well known.
Yes.
Yes, it is well known in a kind of like a Mahayana practitioner community. Yeah. Why?
Like unicorns.
Hmm?
Like unicorns.
I don't know what is unicorn.
A horse that has a horn on its head.
Oh, horse has a horn on head?
Mm-hmm. Like this. A unicorn.
And then?
They are very famously known.
Oh, I don't know that. Anyway, so what you are trying to say?
That Bodhisattva's way of life needs to be more popular in the community of people who are educated.
I need more popular?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's better if it is popular, then everybody will pay attention, then absolutely it is better. We pay attention to popular. Yeah. So for that, then become popular is better. Okay.
Like Tokugawa, you would like to be popular as well, correct?
I don't want. Oh, okay. Then okay. So that also question to anyone can give. What do you feel most rational and practical word in chapter number 1?
What is radical chapter number 1?
Yes. What do you feel the most rational and practical word in chapter 1? Do you have any specific stanza that what Shandideva said about and it really touched?
Is the number 1 significant?
Yeah, for your point of view. Not necessarily everybody's point of view, okay? From your own point of view, that what you feel most rational and practical word in chapter number 1. What kind of word what word Shandideva said? There are many words Shandideva said it, right, within first chapter. And among this, do you have something you feel this is something very practical and rational? Or not, or none of this. Not necessarily that you need to choose one. If you don't have anything, those words that which you feel very rational and practical, then you have to answer. If there's a no, then you can just say, no, I didn't feel any of those words. It's rational or practical. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really was touched by the comparison of the trees. Where like the plantain tree, the you give its fruit every year, but then its force suspends. That only the tree of bodhicitta would grow and give fruit unceasingly.
That's the word that you touched most.
Yeah.
What about Piggly Wiggly?
What?
Have you seen Piggly Wiggly?
What is Piggly Wiggly?
It is a season 1 Canadian government approved animation for children. You can watch it on Canopy for kids.
For kids.
Mhm.
Is this relevant with this question?
Isn't it?
Is it?
Isn't it?
I don't know. Do you think it is relevant with
I
this
think
our
so.
discussion? How? Tell me.
Well, Piggly Wiggly has adventures. And Piggly
No,
Wiggly
what I am asking question is that do you feel any rational and practical the word that what Shantideva gives in this chapter number 1?
Does it say that this is the Bodhisattva's way of life?
In chapter number 1, you listen my specific question, then answer.
I have.
Yeah. So in chapter number 1, what I am asking is that in chapter number 1, and do you feel anything? It is very rational and practical. Practical word in chapter number 1. Yeah, that's my question.
Very good. That's my answer.
Okay. So anyone?
Stanza 6.
Stanza 6. Stanza 6.
Yes.
Explain a little bit why it is so touched.
Well, because for me personally, that non-virtuous thoughts, the struggle with habitual thinking, that it is to hear that yes, it is strong, but by giving rise to bodhicitta, you can cut through it. It can be weakened, and you can change things for yourself.
That's why you feel. And anybody else? That's only you think rational.
Yes.
And practical.
And very practical. You know, with the training of taking hold of yourself.
Okay, then now we may move to the next question. You may can look now.
Thank you.
Stanza number 4. Stanza number 4 explained this meaning of this stanza number 4 and pointed out the main point. Okay, that she explained this stanza number 4 and then pointed out the main point of this stanza.
Stanza number 4 mentions we should not transgress the precepts.
What?
Be careful
What? Where are you?
Carefulness. Carefulness.
Stanza number 4.
Oh, sorry.
First chapter. We are in first chapter. We didn't move yet.
Okay. Yes. So hard to find the ease and the wealth, whereby the aims of being may be gained. If now I fail to turn to my profit, how could such a chance be mine again? I think maybe it's connected to precious human life as well.
You shouldn't say maybe now. You should explain. Okay, this is it.
This is it's because the method given is very beneficial for all the beings. So it's very hard.
First, can you loud read this stanza first? Loudly.
So hard to find the ease and the wealth, whereby the aims of beings may be gained. If now I fail to turn it to my profit, how could such a chance be mine again? The author asks us to take advantage of this great teaching and a great chance to practice Bodhichitta. It's very rare to find, and now we have it. We should.
No. Oh, okay. So explain this. I said two questions, right? Explain this stanza, meaning of this stanza, and then point it out. What is the really point is there in this stanza? That why Shandideva put it this there?
Oh. So the meaning is that the first two lines, I think it means it's very hard to find.
Which one? It's hard to find what?
The ease and the wealth.
Ease and wealth.
Oh.
What are ease and wealth?
Ease.
What is
it
ease?
Means the teaching, It's
Huh?
like a precious wealth, precious jewel. It's very hard to find.
They translated wealth there. Ease and wealth.
And through this
Favorable conditions may be better. Is capable and favorable condition. Capable and favorable condition. Ease and wealth. Actually, wealth is the translation is very much. It is wealth. It is very much material, is it? Not necessary.
Not necessarily.
Not necessary. Okay, then you are kind of like your own characteristic could becomes your wealth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, then maybe then that's okay. Okay, what is talking about? Capable and favorable condition. Another word that you can use for this ease and wealth.
precious human.
Yes, that is exactly the precious human rebirth. It is talking about the precious human rebirth, right? So the precious human rebirth is so hard to obtain. That's what it is talking about. And then second one, you read it. Second one.
Yes, the second one says, if now we didn't utilize the precious human body well, it's very hard to find a second chance.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, we should utilize it, concentrate teaching.
First one, okay, first word, ease and wealth. Read it.
Okay. So hard to find the ease and wealth,
Mm-hmm. And then,
whereby the aims of beings may be gained.
Whereby
The aims of beings may be gained.
may be gained, right? Okay, what does that word mean?
Through this precious human body, we can practice bodhicitta and to benefit beings.
As I told you earlier, that it is saying what it said, the gain. You read again.
Whereby the aims of beings may be gained.
Gained. Yes. So in this time, I described it before, right? By having this precious human rebirth, many opportunities are there. And then the opportunity, the greatest opportunity is to, yes, and this is the form through this that we can reach to. This is the boat, this through this that we can travel to the land of enlightenment. That's the greatest thing that can be gained through this, relying on this body. And then mediocre, if not, but still through this boat, we can go to the land of nirvana, right? And then at the least, that through this body, we have opportunity to gain again human rebirth. That's at the least, we have this advantage by having this precious human rebirth, right? So the another beings, they don't have that choice. Enlightened is far. Even they are unable to clarify the causes and conditions to be born in a human again, which is not in this precious human. When we have this precious, when our mind is depending on this precious human rebirth, then our mind can utilize the maximum intelligent, which cannot use its maximum intelligent staying in some other's form. Right? That is very much is there, yeah. And there, for instance, if my mind is in the donkey's form, then what I will going to perceive is completely different than what I am perceiving right now. And then this my mind, what I have intelligent right now, this mind, with the same mind, right? It is just relying on the different form. But just relying by different form, it makes dull, covered, to utilize its own intelligence. That's why it's called obscuration. It obscures. This form will going to obscure your intelligence, your mental intelligence. Makes you unable to utilize your maximum intelligence. Which is in this, when this our consciousness rely on this precious human rebirth, then this our consciousness can utilize its maximum intelligence. That's the difference. And it can become worse, very worse too. That's why many teachings saying, Legna Tarbitusing Ludi, Niena Kurvitingo Ludi. You know, if you utilize in a proper, excellent way, then yes, this body is the very boat can lead you towards enlightenment or the liberation land. If you utilize this improper, in a very wrong way, then this really body, the really precious human rebirth, also can become the storm, the heavy storm, which going to be very deep in the water, to never come up. This body could become that too, both sides. But however, so the second meaning that, what is it, could be gain. That's what it means. Okay. Anyway, So the point now, why Shandideva, the how to say, describing this precious human rebirth here? Why? Now the point, as I asked you a question, right?
Point is to utilize it well, knowing its preciousness.
You need to think that this. You need to think he is explaining way of Bodhisattva's life. So that's why he's explaining this. Because okay, now it takes time. Okay, here Shandideva explaining this precious human rebirth because he wants to guide, instruct us that this is the form, exactly unmistaken form, where you can practice way of Bodhisattva's life perfectly. This is the kind of like showing like the perfect, reliable form to practice the Bodhicitta, way of Bodhisattva's life. Anyway, okay, then move to next. Stanza 15 and 16. You may can read now. Stanza 15 and 16. Stanza 15 and 16. Yeah, Malay, you can tell me.
Yeah.
Explain.
So my understanding is that it's describing the two kinds of bodhicittas here. There's a bodhicitta intention,
Aspiration bodhicitta.
and both of these are part of relative bodhicitta. Both aspiration and practical bodhicitta.
Application bodhicitta. Aspiration bodhicitta and application bodhicitta. Normally we use that both. Anyway, so you are there.
But again, both of these are part of the relative bodhicitta. Part of it, not absolute. But what he basically says here is that by having aspiration bodhicitta, you generate so that's the difference between by having aspiration bodhicitta, you generate a lot of merit.
Okay, so first stanza, 15 stanza. 15 stanza, the point of 15 stanza is introducing this two type of bodhicitta. Okay? And then the second stanza, which is 16. The 16th stanza is describing what?
So the wife should understand the difference between the two kinds of relative bodhicittas.
Yeah, that's what it is saying. So how it is explaining? By giving by this example, right?
Yeah. So one is just.
You just need to explain like as how I'm explaining to you.
So one is just intention. You want to arrive somewhere. The other is you start walking.
Like that. Like that.
Aspiration bodhicitta is the intention to go to some place, and practical or application bodhicitta is to start walking.
Yeah, that's what it's describing in this two stanza, right? Okay, good. And then the 34 and 35 stanza of the same chapter. 34 and 35. (34 and 35 chapter). Okay, Sean. Describe 34 and describe 35. And what is the difference?
34. All those who harbor evil in their minds against such lords of generosity, the Buddha's heirs will stay in hell. The mighty sage has said, for ages equal to the moments of their mouths. So he's saying that those who harbor ill thoughts towards, he describes them as sages, realized masters, Buddhas, realized masters, bodhisattvas, they will experience the lower realms for as many moments as they harbor those evil thoughts, negative thoughts.
Very unfortunate.
How?
So he's explaining really about having reverence towards realized beings.
Having
Reverence,
reverence.
respect, reverence.
No. This is stanza number 35, 34.
34.
34 is describing
All those who harbor evil in their minds towards the Buddha, the Buddha's heirs will stay in hell. So he's really saying about having respect towards the Buddha and his heirs.
no respect. Here, okay. So this stanza, okay, you're saying that someone who generates the bad thoughts or harmful thoughts, right, towards the bodhisattva. Okay, you can explain. I shouldn't.
He's saying that those who harbor bad thoughts towards realized beings, bodhisattvas, will experience the lower realms,
Will experience the lower realms.
the hell realms, yes.
Hell realms.
And then he says,
How much? How much? He's specifying a little bit here.
for ages equal to the moments of their negative thoughts.
Yes. So how to define this number of their negative thoughts here?
How do you define
Mm-hmm.
the length of their thoughts?
Mm-hmm. The length of their negative thoughts towards bodhisattva.
Well, he's defining it by the amount of time one experiences the lower realms.
Mm-hmm. Niansen Gebi Changshin is giving right that how long that you have a bad thought about bodhisattvas, that much period and equals to the eons, you will going to experience the hell, suffer of hell, right? So that's how to define that. How can I say now? I explained this one before, right? So that is actually one little bit hard challenge. But however, okay, let me tell you here. This is what it is talking about. Like, let's say here, Sean, you are bodhisattva, and then I raise some bad thoughts about you. I raise some harmful thoughts to you. Okay? And then when I am generating this hated or angry towards you, that's how long it will remain with me. Let's say 1 moment, yes, 1 moment is there. It could be remain 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds, minute. Right? That's how now you have to understand this one. This, if I generate this anger towards you, that you are bodhisattva, then I am generating anger to you, like 1 moment, 1 second. Okay? Then now, this 1 second, Actually, if it is when it goes very thorough, it is saying within a one moment, like they're giving this example of moment like snapping moment. Snapping moment has a 60 moment, 60 different times within this snapping moment. That is now very thorough and deep. Okay? And then even not roughly that we can say like, if I generate angry to you 1 second, that 1 second equalized to 1 year. If I keep that maintain angry to you 2 seconds, and 2 seconds equalized to 2 year. 3 seconds equalized, multiply, that's how. This is what it is describing. This is how it is introducing. Therefore, so careful to generate angry towards anybody, because we don't know who is Bodhisattva and who is Bodhisattvas and who is not. And then generating bad thoughts about others is also very risky. This stanza is showing that. We never can judge each other, right? That it's very hard to understand that whether that person is real bodhisattvas or not. If that person is bodhisattva, unfortunately, then if I generate hated, angry, or jealous whatsoever bad thoughts, then these bad thoughts will going to be equalized with this. That's what it is talking about. And then next stanza.
So he's saying that, but on the other hand, generating positive thoughts, joyous and devoted, it says here, will yield abundant fruits, great fruits, a vast amount of fruits in greater strength. Even in trouble, bodhisattvas never bring forth wrong. Their virtues naturally increase. So even when times are tough and bodhisattvas are experiencing difficulty, they still never give way to negativity.
Yeah. So and however, this is point now. On the other hand, if someone raises the good thought, positive thought, right? Kind of like a supportive thought or benefit thought towards the bodhisattva, then the same as that moment that also equalized the multiply the merit of this is also like that. And actually Shantideva was saying they will have even more than the before. It will going to multiply more than the before in the negative how it is multiplying. This is what it is saying, right?
Is coffee good?
Hmm?
Is coffee good?
Coffee? Where is coffee? Anyway, okay. So now move to next question. The chapter number 2. Okay, chapter number 2, stanza 1. Stanza 1. Okay, Anna, explain. This is stanza number 1. Read loudly. Read loudly.
To the Buddhas, those thus gone, and to the secret Dharma, spotless and supremely rare, and to the Buddha's offspring, oceans of good qualities, that I might gain this precious attitude, I make a perfect offering. You want to explain it?
Mm-hmm.
So, in order to practice, generate this precious Bodhisattva, I'm making offering in front of this supreme object, like the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and Dharmas, and offer the best thing that's in this world in order to for all the beings to achieve Buddhahood. So this is why it's a perfect offering.
What?
I'm making this perfect offering in front of these supreme objects for the sake of all beings and for myself to practice Bodhisattva and generate Bodhisattva.
What is showing point?
The point is I'm making offering
Why?
because I want to generate Bodhisattva.
Generate Bodhisattva. Why you need offer?
Because these are the perfect object who has Bodhisattva already.
No, why you need to offer in order to generate
But I
Bodhisattva?
need merits in order to have Bodhisattva.
Okay, and then also, this is also describing the perfect object or the perfect offering. Okay, so you also need to explain one by one those. Okay, first one, read the first one.
To the Buddhas, those thus gone, means the Buddhas in the past.
No, the first line, is that first line?
Yeah, to the Buddhas, those thus gone.
Then
This is saying I'm offering to the Buddhas in the past.
then
Because these are already Buddha, right? They are perfect objects to make offering.
you read the all four lines.
You said first line.
Yeah,
And to the sacred Dharma, spotless and supremely rare. And so you want to explain the second line?
no. Read.
And to the Buddha's offspring, oceans of good qualities, that I might gain this precious attitude, I make a perfect offering.
The purpose is to get the precious attitude.
Right.
So that's order is different. That's why I'm just not making it clear here. Anyhow, as I explained you earlier in this stanza, it is really showing that now the right intention, right object, and right offering, right offer. This stanza is describing that. Right intention is that you have these intentions to willing to hold this Bodhisattva. That's the right intention. And then in order to hold that Bodhisattva, and you need to consult, rely to the right object who have this Bodhisattva, which are this Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. And then actually Buddha and Dharma, that's it's showing. Kunchu deshin shekwan namdang nambi chu. Yuanden jam kunchu chimame sanji se, yeah, and then those bodhisattvas. And then Jamso Nama labor chose that are you going to make excellent offering. Excellent offering means, as I told you, that you need to explain this in this meaning like this way, that then the excellent quality, right? Excellent quality and the, what do you call it? Excellent quality and the excellent decoration, maybe decoration. That's the excellent offer. Excellent offer means what you are offering is something very excellent thing, excellent preparation. That as we do when we want to offer something, that we prepare the best, like this flower. And then we just not just picking a flower and flower with the container, we decorating very nice, right? And then we also washed, make sure it is very clean. That's how it makes the excellent offer. And then you're letting it go, right? We don't just buy the things and then just give. No, we buy, we make sure it is clean, and we make sure it is very well packed. These are all kind of like making excellent offer.
Who are the
Anyway.
compassionate lords in this city?
So, what is the main point of this chapter 2? Ani?
Confession.
Huh?
Confession.
Confession.
Confession. It's kind of like making things nice and
Yeah,
clean.
actually, yeah, it is there, very clear in the chapter. This is a confession.
And,
But there are furthermore, actually, there's furthermore.
And through confession, gaining merit. Gaining merit.
There's a more meaning than confession. Why confession? Okay, now.
Why confession?
Mm-hmm.
Because before you can start on something, you have
You need to relate these chapters, okay? Relate these chapters, first and second and third and fourth. You can relate. Then you need to think, oh, why chapter 2? What's the main point of chapter 2?
For me, it's preparing. It's knowing how to prepare
2?
so that you can give rise to bodhicitta.
Yeah, that's the thing, yes. Now this chapter number 2 is now, chapter number first main point is Shandideva introducing the potential of Bodhisattva. Then after that, chapter number 2 is now he's introducing the how you should prepare in order to get these potential things with yourself. What you should prepare. And this all, actually this confession is the one subject. They named this chapter by this one subject. Actually within this second chapter, there are many different subjects. Right? It describes all the offering, how to make offer, right? And then prostrations, and then confession, right? And this main point is, yes, to how to prepare properly to have it that potential things within oneself. That's the point. And how many different way of offering instructed in this text, in this chapter number 2. That offering is the one action, the way to prepare to receive Bodhisattva's vow within oneself, right? And then Shandideva, how many different ways that he introduced that one can engage into.
So you mean like you can make physical offerings and you can make mental offerings.
Okay.
And,
Yes, that's true. Physical offering. He introduced the physical way of offering, mental way of offering. Multiplying way of offering.
multiplying the mental.
That's mental offering.
Sharing and dividing.
Sharing and dividing. Sharing and dividing.
The offering of the body.
No,
The offering of the body.
that's physical. That's physical.
Limitless, no limits.
That's mental.
It's not numbers, it's limitless.
Huh?
There can only be two.
Only can be two,
Physical.
physical and mental. But he introduced 5, right? 5 way of there's a 5 way that you can engage into offering activities. Yeah. So there is a 5 way that one can engage into offering activities. Yes, Ani said these 2 things, physical and mental. Okay?
What is speech?
Huh?
Would speech be physical?
Speech is physical. Speech, actually, yes, actually there. This is the speech, like a offering of praising with the song, melodies. That exactly in sadhanas we're doing it. Praising, right? That's through speech. That's the one way of making offer. In a melody, very nice melody, and praising by calling their quality.
What should we have?
That's one way of offering. And then what? What other 2?
The things don't belong to anyone else.
These are categories in the mental offering, isn't it? And then aspirations offering, right? The power of aspirations offering. And then the final is the what do you call it? Ultimate. Ultimate means that Lana maybe Chiba. Ultimate offering, actually there are many ways, but in this is sutra way. And then how Shantideva described that one could engage into this ultimate. Lana Meba is kind of like a non-above Lana Meba. Lana Meba is like there's none above. How can I say now? Which means actually among the offering activity, this is the greatest offering method. Therefore, none of above offering. Named like that.
Nothing higher.
Huh? Nothing higher. Yes, nothing higher. Offering. Supreme offering. We can say that. But Lana Meba, if you want to translate that literally, it doesn't become just supreme. Anyway, its meaning is supreme. Yes, the supreme offering. Supreme offering actually, how describe Shantideva here? He just said it like just copyright those great bodhisattvas, how they offer. Same like I want to offer. They're just making this very simple. That the fact now this supreme offer becomes like this meditation actually. Meditating upon such a great point like emptiness, and itself is considering as a supreme offering. But here at the beginning, it is way beyond. Therefore, and you just copyright how Manjushri Bodhisattva offered. I just want to follow. I just want to offer like him. Sometimes we said that, right? When we go to the restaurant, even, what would you like to order? and then you listening someone, or same as him, same as her, like that. You get it. You get it same as him. You don't have to say anything, right? You just say same like him, and then you will going to get the same amount of food as how that other person get. You didn't ask rice, you didn't ask noodles, you didn't ask meat, vegetarian, whatsoever. You didn't ask none of this. You just said, I just want what he orders, same as him or her. Then you get exactly what the other person, your friend, got. Just like that. Copywriting. How Manjushri Buddha Bodhisattva offers. How Samanta Bhadra Bodhisattvas offer. I just want to offer same way as them. Yeah. Okay. And then now, look to the stanza number 28 and 29. 28 and 29. Okay, read that. And then, yeah, Alexander, can you read this loud and explain this meaning?
Why me?
Oh, you don't want?
No.
Okay. Malay?
Yeah, so 28 and 29.
Mm-hmm.
In this and all my other lives, while turning in the round without beginning, blindly.
If you, listen, if you don't want to test, you can go out.
I didn't ask that question.
No, here we are doing test. If you don't want to participate in test, you can always go out.
Are you speaking to me?
Yes.
I think you're speaking to somebody else.
No, I'm speaking to you. You don't need to participate if you don't want to test. Okay? It is not necessary for you to be here, participate in this test.
That's different.
Yeah. So you can go out.
No, I'll sit quiet.
Okay? Yes. Malay?
So, in this and all my other lives, while turning in the round without beginning, blindly I have brought forth evil and incited others to commit the same. Deceived and overmastered by my ignorance, I have taken pleasure in such sin, and now, seeing the blame of it, O great protectors, I confess it earnestly.
Mm-hmm. So explain this now.
So, what I understand here is that it's part of the confession that he's bringing forth. And this is part of the 8th branch prayer that is included in Shantideva. And he's saying, all my lives that I have circled in samsara for millions and millions of lifetimes, I wasn't aware that all my evil actions would bring me evil. So I carelessly and without mindfulness just engaged in negative thoughts in body, speech, and mind. And by doing so, also made others was the cause of other people acting in the same manner. And this is basically the root of all of this is my ignorance of the Dharma.
Mm-hmm.
This is how I understand. Not just did I engage in all these negative things and made others engage in it and became the cause of others negative thoughts, but because I didn't have the Dharma and I was ignorant, I was happy about this. I have taken pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
I was very happy when
Mm-hmm.
maybe I killed my enemy
Mm-hmm.
or
Mm-hmm.
all these things. But now I realize that this is terribly wrong because it brings the downfall not just of myself but also of others. So therefore, I'm saying it right now and here, and Shantideva is appealing to the great Buddhas and
Okay, so what is the point of these two stanzas?
It is part of my understanding of the purification that
Mhm.
needs to happen.
Mm-hmm.
For building,
Purified what?
purifying the mind streams, your mind stream of millions of years of negative deeds that you have.
How?
One is by confessing, by the four reliances, by confessing.
No. This two stanza.
Ah.
Don't go that.
Okay,
Four.
so
Just this two stanza, meaning just stay with this two stanza. Okay?
you confess, and
Mhm.
then you don't do it again. And that's,
Yes. No, don't do it again. There's no saying don't do it again at all, right?
Yeah.
It is not about don't do it again here.
Yeah.
It is, this two stanza is just introducing
Yes.
that what you should confess.
Yes. So.
And what you should confess is introducing clear in this two stanza,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So the how
How do you confess?
how and what are those?
Okay. How do you, for the question of how, you can do it either in front of a teacher.
No, friend. Okay, so maybe I'm asking wrong question. I should ask. Okay, this two stanza is telling us that from the beginning last time to the now, whatever we did mistake, and I should confess.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I will confess. So what are the things that I should confess? What are the deed that I should confess?
Transgressions, things that you have done in body.
They're related with this stanza here.
Yeah.
It is making,
Oh,
the Shantideva is making very clear this 3 point here. 3 point. He's making very clear this 3 point that whatever you done, any of these 3 things that you should confess. And it is also very clearly showing that none of the people can engage into negativity other than these 3 ways. Yeah, Malay?
Yes, so my understanding here are the 3 words here: deceived, overmastered, and taking pleasure.
Deceived?
First I was deceived,
Uh-huh.
overmastered,
Uh-huh.
and then rejoicing in the sin, taking pleasure in the sin. And these are the 3 things that make the sin complete. First, I didn't know what was right and wrong. Then I was intent to do it. Then I was happy about it.
So anyone wants? Yeah? Yeah?
Either do it yourself or ask others to do it, or rejoice.
Yeah. These are the 3 things that Shantideva pointing out from this stanza. We know that we need to confess our misdeed. Okay, how I can have misdeed and what are those misdeed? Then either I did by myself, or I ask somebody to do it for me, or I'm looking someone who is doing and enjoying with them, rejoicing after them. Through this 3 way, I can engage into negativity. So from beginningless to now, until now, whatever I engage into this, any of these 3 ways that I may accumulated mistake, and I wanna confess from bottom of my heart. Now that's really showing the clear that when you confess, what you need to really pull up. How to confess? In very short, you can be like that, brief. There's nothing can condense within these 3 things, right? You cannot do more than these 3 ways. You cannot act negativity more than these 3 ways. That's pointing out. Yeah? Not deceive, and what you say?
Overmaster.
Deceive,
Master.
overmasters, and rejoice.
Rejoice.
Rejoice is right. One is right, yeah, but not deceive and overmasters. Okay, by doing on myself and letting someone to do it, yeah, and then rejoice. And these are the things that one must confess in order to receive Bodhisattva vow. Right? Okay, then stanza 40 and 41. Read that, stanza 40 and 41. These stanzas you make in mark too. Here, show. You make and mark these stanzas. And it's also good to memorize if you can. These are important stanzas, right? This one needed. When you confess, that stanza is very helpful to confess properly, right? And when you offer, and that I asked Anna, that the first stanza of this chapter number 2, it's important, right? So you can make it very proper way of offering, right? Like that. Then now stanza 20, 40 and 41, right? Stanza 40 and 41. Ani, can you explain this?
When you die, you alone die. You're actually on your own. You can't take whatever you're clinging to in this life with you. You can't take anything with you. And nobody, no friend can save you. You must leave.
Then,
And 41, and when the heralds of the deadly king have gripped me, then held to me with all my friends. That's only your virtuous deeds, your good merit, your merits that you can take with you.
so what this stanzas showing?
It is only through the generating of bodhicitta, of virtue, that you can make a difference to yourself and others. There's nothing else worth clinging to. No friend can go with you into the next realm.
Okay, so
And no wealth,
no friend,
no friend.
okay? And then
That's
what these two stanza, the very point?
the point of it.
What is the point, main point of these two stanza?
It is to help you, for me, it's to help me realise that clinging to anything is pointless. That only generating bodhicitta and generating merit is the only thing that can help propel you into into a better existence. Which it sounds terrible. A better existence sounds terrible, but it's only your virtue or your negative karma that you're going to take with you. So it's either going to send you up or down.
It is really pointing out the point that when we die, and then I'm just sitting on my cushion, on my bed, right? While I am sitting on my bed, and while I'm sitting my cushion, and no matter how much they surrounded me, all my relatives, friends, But the feeling of losing life or the feeling of that pain going through this process of death, none of them will going to be shared with me. Even though they are surrounded with me. And then what did they say? I'm giving exam actually. I'm giving test, not you.
I'm sorry. Because I don't know how to answer it, but to me, right, it doesn't matter how attached I am to things, I'm still going to go anyway. It's better not to be attached to things.
Okay.
And it's better to gather to yourself the wealth of virtuous behaviour and practice the Dharma, be committed to that, because that's the only thing that you can actually
benefits yourself
in any way. No
in
tears.
A death process.
Yes, no tears, no.
Yeah,
No
that's
limbs
exactly.
going.
That's right. Yeah, this is exactly just pointing out this stanza. Good. And then, what are the four powers? That's very common right now. Almost everybody understand this. Four powers to confess. One's mistake.
Confession is one.
Compassion.
It's confession. One of the powers, the act of confessing. I stole something, so then I confess this.
Confess. Okay. To confess your mistake required full power.
That's one. Confessing.
Confessing itself is one. And then
Relying on the deity is the second one.
relying on deity. Here, actually, Shanti, they were not talking about deity. Right? Here, this accordance with the Sutrayana way. It doesn't talk deity, right?
In Sutra, it could be relying upon either the Buddha, Shakyamuni, or the 35 Buddhas of confession. Relying upon the Buddha.
Mainly here, Shanti, they were describing refuge and generating bodhisattva is the power of relying. You need to have these two things. And yes, then Triple James putting object there. But this is also from your side, also need these two things. And then, what is next? Refuge and bodhisattva is also important shown, okay? This refuge and bodhisattva is the one power too. Among the four power, one power is that.
So the third is relying on the purification.
Huh?
Relying on the purification that one receives when one has confessed to the Buddha or the true gem that one has received. The confession has done what it's supposed to do. That it has purified it. The misdeed. The conviction that the misdeed has been purified.
That's confession itself, isn't it? You said confession is the one power.
No, there's the confession, so I confess, and then the purification comes. That is the third.
Purification comes.
Purification of what I have confessed. The misdeed. I'm saying that is the third power. purification of that misdeed.
That's the third power.
I'm saying, I'm presenting it, I'm offering it as
Yeah.
the third power.
And then
Dedication.
dedication.
The resolve not to do it again.
The commitment.
The commitment, yes.
The commitment, power of commitment, and power of what do you call it? Remorse, right? Power of remorse, power of commitment, and then power of object, and then power of antidote. Antidote, accordance with this way, what are the antidotes? In Wonjo, which we learn, antidote is this now. Vajrasattva, reciting mantra, and this all meditation process, right?
Mhm.
But according to the now Sutrayana here, what is the power of antidote? Yes, Sean?
The power of the antidote is if one has anger, then it is loving kindness.
No. Anger has already happened, right? Happened. Now you want to confess that you anger to someone.
So I confess,
Mm.
visualize the triple gem,
Mm-hmm.
and I confess, and I receive the purification from the triple gem.
Generally, doing some positive activity for that purpose. That can be offering, can be circumambulation, can be prostration, can be rejoice. Any kind of, this is now in general in this sutra, yana way. There's no, the power of antidote is any kind of meritorious activity can become power of antidote. When you put that activity specific for the purpose of your confess. Any meritorious activity can become. Okay? That's how you need to understand this. In accordance with the Sutrayana way. Right? We are, yeah, that's not a good idea to do test. Very the kind of like the every chapter we need to do, not like this. This is not sufficient time. It is very limited time right now. We didn't complete it. We just completed 2 stanzas. Still we left 3 stanzas. We might going to do next week. How about it? That's better, right? Okay, next Saturday we're gonna do rest. Study again. Okay? Again, read and study. Try to figure it out the point. And we will going to do the next Saturday again this test. Rest of the other 3 chapters. And then we move on to the 6th chapter. And then from then, whenever we finish 1 chapter, we'll do each chapter we'll do test. Okay? Okay, so then we dedicate now. Oizanam de tamje zibani, pomne nyeben janam bamje ne, shigananji wala tubai, siben zolendo anruwarshu, jambal bak, jidra kembana, kundu sambu de ande jinde, deda kunji jesu daloji, gewan de da tamje rabdumu, Gewan de yeshe okun, sunam yeshe tozone, sunam yeshe lejongwe, tamba kunyin tobarashu, sanje kusum nyebe chenlam na, chenye menjur dembe chenlam na, Gendin Michin Dimbe Chinlanji, Jidramua Melam Dubarishu. By this beneficial activity, may I obtain omniscience, and having vanquished the harmful enemy, greed, anger, delusion, may I liberate all being tossed about helplessly by the waves of birth, aging, illness, and death in the ocean of becoming. By conforming to the knowledges of courageous Manjushri, Jambalyam, and in the same way as Samandabhadra, Kundusambo, and following their example, I dedicate perfectly all these virtues. By this virtue, may all beings perfectly achieve the accumulation of merit, sona, and wisdom, yeshe, and may they thereafter obtain the two holy bodies which result from this true accumulation. By the blessing of the Buddha Sangha, who obtained the three bodies, by the blessing of the immutable truth of the Dharmata Trinity, by the blessing of the infallible aspirations of the Sangha, gained, may this prayer of dedications be accomplished just as it is. Thank you. Testing in this way is good.
Yes.
Yeah.